Yes, children. Hi. How are you all? Hope all are fine, good. Okay, yes. Then, children, let me ask you something. Do you enjoy riding bicycle, or do you have a bicycle at home? Do you like to ride a bicycle? Evening time with your friends to enjoy, or just for a fun? All of us likes to enjoy this riding the cycle, isn't it? Bicycle. So suppose you want to ride a bicycle. If you sit on that, simply it will run by itself. Does it move by itself or what? No, isn't it? First you have to sit on the seat. Then you have to keep your feet on the pedals. Simply if you keep the feet also, it won't move. You have to apply some force on that. Then only the bicycle starts moving, isn't it? So we apply some force, we say. We apply some force to move a bicycle, isn't it? Then to push a chair, we have to push it, right? Chair means it is easy to move. If some heavy object to move means we have to apply more force, isn't it? So to move an object, we need to apply some force, we say. Sometimes we apply less force, sometimes we need to apply larger force also to move an object, isn't it? So to do anything, we need to apply some force. So we say force we need to move an object. To move something, we need to apply some force, isn't it? Have you seen an empty swing moving in the park? If you sit on it, then it will move, swing, it will move. But without sitting itself, an empty swing, it moves by its own. How? Because of the wind. The wind is acting as a force for the empty swing to move. Then have you seen the cart, a bullock cart or horse cart moving? If it is full of load, what happens? People push from other side. The load is full, heavy load, then someone has to push it, then it moves, isn't it? So push or pull of an object, it is nothing but force. Force is push or pull of an object, we say. Push or pull. So to move anything, we need to apply force. Okay, you're riding the bicycle now. Imagine you're riding a bicycle. Suddenly you want to stop it. What you will do? Yes, you apply brake, isn't it? When you apply brake, the bicycle stops. So there also you are applying some force. Simply it won't stop, isn't it? So you are applying force or you are applying brake, then it stops. So force is needed to move an object and force is needed to stop an object also. Yes, you are moving a ball, rolling a ball or moving a ball. The ball moves. Then after some time, it reduces its speed and comes to rest, or it stops, isn't it? So force is needed to move an object, force is needed to stop an object. And also, for example, if you say, have you seen your mother rolling chapati on the chapati maker? Yes, she rolls it. Then it forms the shape of, round shape of chapati, isn't it? So she is applying force there to make a chapati. So force is needed to change the size and shape of an object. Force is needed to move an object. Force is needed to stop an object. Force is needed to change the size and shape of an object. And also we can say force is needed to change the direction also. To move here and there. Suppose you want to roll a ball. It won't go straight as always. Like according to we can change the direction also according to our wish. So force is needed to change the direction of an object also, isn't it? Force is needed to move an object. It is needed to stop an object. It is needed to change the direction of an object. It is also needed to change the size and shape of an object. For all these things we need force, isn't it? Yes. And you know this cycle, bicycle I told. What is that actually? Its name is bicycle, but actually it is made up of some machinery parts or machines we say. So bicycle is a machine we can tell, or it's a complex machine made up of many simple machines. Small simple machines make a big machine. Nowadays we are using many simple machines to make our life easier or to for our comfort. It makes our life so convenient we say. In kitchen we use knife to cut the vegetables and other items. So knife also is a tool, or we say it's a simple machine we can say. To cut the paper, to cut clothes, we use scissors. Scissor is a simple machine we say. To trim the nails, we use nail cutter, which is a simple machine. These all things makes our work so simple, so easy. So we are so convenient or comfortable to use all these simple machines. Without machines, how can we do big works or large work or task? Like there are many activities that we cannot do by ourselves, and machines helping us to do big works, heavy works we say. There are some works that man cannot do. So machines helping the, cranes and all, lifting heavy object. So cranes are helping people to do heavy work. So there are machines we say, or we can say they are simple machines. Machines actually now it's a part of our life. Modern age is the age of computers. Computer is also a machine. So modern age is an age of machines we can say. So today we are going to learn about these simple machines. The topic for today is simple machines. Simple machine. Simple machines. Lesson 12. Simple machines. Machines that makes our life so easier, so faster to do many works, to do heavy work. We need machines. So there are different types of simple machines are there. So today we will learn about that. And as I said, force is nothing but push or pull of an object. So force, when we apply, when we do some work, something means we are applying some force. That means we are doing some work also there. If we are moving something, we are doing something there. Doing something means it is nothing but work. So work is nothing but when we move an object to some distance, it is work. But to do work we need energy also, isn't it? If we have more energy, then we can do more work. So there are different types of energies are there. Or energy is the ability to do work we say. So here in this lesson we are going to learn about force, different types of force, work, energy, and about simple machines, different types of simple machines that makes our life so easier, so comfortable. Okay, so just read. So lesson 12, simple machines. Let's learn about force, types of force, work, energy, simple machines, types of simple machines, complex machines. Here two children are talking. Can you hold this bag for me? I am feeling weak. One child is telling, can you hold please this bag for me because I am so weak, I am not able to hold this. The other child is telling, yes, I have enough energy to hold these two bags. I have full energy, I can hold two bags. So to do something or to hold something, we should have some energy. Yes. Let us study about force, work and energy before studying about simple machines. Force. Any kind of push or pull is called a force. Most of the actions that we perform in our daily life involve pushing or pulling something, isn't it? Whatever activities we are doing day to day in our life, it involves pushing or pulling. Okay, that push or pull, it is nothing but force. Force can be used to move a stationary object. Suppose an object is there here. It is there as it is, right? That means it is stationary, we say. It is not moving. It is a book is there on the table. So a book, now it is a stationary object there. It is not moving. It is there as it is, right? So to move that, we have to apply force. We are moving it. Means we are moving a stationary object, we say. To stop a moving object. Cycle is moving. We need to stop it. We have to apply force or apply brake, isn't it? To stop a moving object also we need force. Then slows down a moving object. When we roll a ball, after some time it will reduce its speed. Speed will come less. Speed will be less. So to slow down a moving object also we need force. Change the direction of moving object. We can move the ball in any directions according to our wish. We can move something. Move the chair here and there. Direction we can change. So force is needed to change the direction of an object. Change the shape and size of an object. I told you the example of rolling chapati. So how the chapati is taking its shape. Your mother is rolling it and the chapati forms into that round shape. So force is needed. We are applying force. She is applying force there, right? Force is needed to change the size and shape of an object. Okay, so force is needed to move a stationary object. Something is there, we have to move it. We use force. To stop that moving object also we use force, isn't it? Then to slow down the moving object we need force. Then to change the direction of an object we need force. To change the size and shape of an object also we need force. Here you can see images of a girl stopping a moving ball. She is trying to stop. A ball is coming and she is trying to stop that. So she is applying force there to stop that. And another image you can see a girl is moving a ball. She is trying to move that ball. Girl moving a ball. Okay. Now we learn about types of forces. Okay, types of forces. There are different types of forces. Let us see what all are there. Okay. First one, muscular force. Force that is applied by our muscles is called muscular force. When we push, pull or lift anything, we apply muscular force. There you can see an image of a boy pushing a box. It's a heavy box. So he is pushing it. He need great effort to push that. He need much force to push that because the box is heavy, isn't it? So we are applying which force there? Muscular force there. If we do any physical work like this, if we are doing some physical work, then there is a muscular force acting on it. Okay, lifting something from the ground, we are applying muscular force. Moving a heavy object, we are giving a muscular force. So it is nothing but muscular force. Next, gravitational force. Gravitational force, you know, when we throw a ball up, it comes down, isn't it? So chalk is going up and coming down, isn't it? Why it is coming down? Because of force of gravity we say, or gravitational force we say. If we throw something up, it comes down because of gravitational force. Or we say earth, our earth where we are living, earth attracts all the objects towards it. That's why we are standing on the earth, or we are there on the earth. We are not flying, right? We can walk, we can sit, we can stand. Why? Because of the gravitational force. Earth attracts us towards it. So that's why if any body going up, it comes down. From trees, fruits are falling down. Why fruits are not going up? It is coming down only, right? From mango tree, mango falls down. From apple tree, apple falls down. Why? Because of the gravitational force, we say. Earth is attracting it towards it. So it is coming down. So gravitational force, it is the force by which Earth pulls anything towards itself. We stay on the ground. We are on the ground, isn't it? Due to gravitational force. A fruit falls from the tree on the ground due to gravitational force. You can see the image, the fruits falling to the ground only because of gravitational force. We are on the ground because of gravitational force. Yes. Next, so we learned about muscular force. First one, muscular force. It is nothing but when we do any physical work, we are applying this muscular force. Lifting something from the ground, moving or pushing something, we are applying muscular force. Next, gravitational force. Gravitational force. Force of gravity, we say. Gravitational force. Earth attracts all the objects towards it. Fruits falling down. When we throw a ball up, it is coming down because of gravitational force. And next is frictional force. When you are moving a toy car, example, moving a toy car, you are moving it on the floor. After some times, what happens? Its speed will get decreased and it stops, isn't it? That stopping force is nothing but frictional force. Because of friction, that toy car stops. Or moving ball, we are moving a ball, football. After some time, the ball goes to some distance and then the speed gets decreased and it stops. So why? Because of frictional force. Okay, frictional force is needed to stop an object, we say. A rolling ball stops due to the force of friction. This force slows down a moving object. A ball is moving. After some time it slows down. Then it comes to stop. So it is nothing but frictional force. We are able to walk because of the frictional force. We are not slipping and falling down, isn't it? Because of the frictional force between our feet and the floor where we are walking, or the frictional force between our sandals or shoes and the ground, we say. When two objects comes in contact, the frictional force comes into act over there. Okay, when two objects comes into contact, then there is a frictional force. Here two objects means when we are walking, our feet and the ground or the floor, they are the two surface. When two surface comes in contact, there is frictional force. Okay, we are able to walk, we are able to run, or we are able to hold some objects. We are holding something because of frictional force. We are able to write because of friction. We are able to walk because of friction. Vehicle stops due to the frictional force. Yes, vehicles after running a distance, we will apply brake and we stops. That is because of frictional force. It is also called the force of resistance. Resistance means resisting something, stopping something, blocking something, we say. Okay, so frictional force is also called as force of resistance. Next, elastic force. Elastic force. When we stretch a rubber band, then when we leave it, it comes to its original shape. When we stretch it, length increases. When we release it, it comes to the original shape. Or when we stretch a spring, you can see an image there. Spring, when we stretch it, it increases its length, and when we release, it regains its original position. This is due to elastic force. Elasticity, we say. Elastic force. Okay. Next is the image that shown is slingshot actually. We use that slingshot to shot some object, isn't it? You keep some stone over there and you do that, na? So that we are stretching it like this. Then only it will go. Arrow and all. So we are stretching it, right? So that is elastic force. Then mechanical force. Simple machines work on mechanical force. The simple machines, they work on which force? They work on mechanical force. For example, a pair of scissors uses this force to cut something. Here you can see the image of a scissor cutting a cloth. So pair of scissors use this force. Which force? Mechanical force, to cut something. This force saves our energy and time. Because of scissors we are able to cut the cloth easily, so it saves our energy and time. So simple machines makes our life easier by saving the energy and time, isn't it? So it is the which force is acting? Mechanical force. Even knife we can say, we use knife to cut some objects. It's a simple machine, it saves our time. We are using which force? The mechanical force. Next, so mechanical force. Mechanical forces, which force? Simple machines use mechanical force. Example, scissors, knife, etc. Then buoyant force. What is buoyant force? B-U-O-Y-A-N-T. Buoyant force. Suppose there is on a floating water, a river or a lake, some water, a ball is there, and you are trying to push it into the water, but you can feel another force acting from down. It is nothing but buoyant force. If we push down a ball floating on water, if we feel an upward thrust also is upward kind of force. We are trying to push it down, but we feel something making it to come up. So this is buoyant force. This feel or push is called buoyant force. Okay, and the last one, magnetic force. Magnetic force. Magnetic force. Have you seen a magnet, children? Magnet? Yes, it attracts all the iron objects, isn't it? So when we bring a magnet near an iron object, the magnet attracts the iron objects towards itself. So this is because magnet has a force that is called magnetic force. Okay, when we keep a magnet beside anything, any iron objects, it will attract. Magnet attracts it. So that by which force it is attracting? By magnetic force. Okay. Yes, children, so far we learned about force and different types of forces, isn't it? So what is a force? A push or pull of an object is called a force. We push something, sometimes like this, we pull also something. So this push and pull is called a force. Push and pull is called a force. Then we learned about different types of force, isn't it? Yes, so different types of force also we learned, isn't it? So first, which force we learned? Before that, force is nothing but push and pull of an object, and we know force we need to move an object, a stationary object, to stop a moving object, to change the direction of a moving object, to decrease the speed of an object or slows down, and to change the size and shape of an object, we need force, isn't it? Yes. So then coming to different types of force. So the first force we learned is, what kind of force? There are different types of force we learned. Yes, first one we learned is muscular force, isn't it? Muscular force. It is nothing but when we do some physical work, we apply force. Lifting something from the ground, pushing something. So when we do some physical work, the muscular force is there. Okay, so that is muscular force. Then we learned about gravitational force, isn't it? Gravitational force. What is gravitational force? Earth attracts all the objects towards it. Earth is attracting all objects towards it. It is gravitational force. That's why we are on the ground and fruits falling down, isn't it? Yes. The next force we learned is elastic force. Elastic force. When we stretch a rubber band or when we stretch a spring, it increases its length. When we release it, it comes to its original shape. So that increasing its length and releasing, it is nothing but elasticity or elastic force we say, isn't it? So we learned muscular force, gravitational force, elastic force. Then we learned about buoyant force, isn't it? What is buoyant force? If any ball or any bucket, something floating on water and we're trying to push it down, we feel an upward force in the opposite direction. Try to do in a tank, if there is a ball or some object is there, we are trying to push it down, we feel the same opposite force coming up. So that feel or push is called buoyant force. Okay. Then we learned about magnetic force. Magnetic force means what? When we keep a magnet beside any object, especially these iron objects, what happens? Magnet attracts these iron objects towards it. That force of attraction is called the magnetic force, isn't it? Then we learned about frictional force also. Frictional force. When a moving object, when we move an object like a ball, roll a ball on the ground, after some time it comes to stop because of friction, we say. Vehicle stops due to friction. When we apply brake, it stops. That is because of friction. We are able to walk, we are able to run, we are able to hold something, we are able to ride something because of friction, we say. If you rub your hands, palms together like this, the two surfaces are coming in contact. Heat is produced when you rub the hands, isn't it? Actually, because of friction, we are able to do that. We are able to walk because of friction. Friction between our shoes and the ground, two surfaces. So, frictional force is needed to stop an object, we say. And we are able to walk, ride, hold things because of friction. So, these are the different types of force we learned. Force is a push or pull of an object, and we learned about muscular force, gravitational force, elastic force, buoyant force, magnetic force and frictional force. Okay. Yes. So to do something, or when we push an object, it moves to some distance. That is called nothing but work. When you apply force to move any object, you do work. We are doing work when we apply force to move something. Okay. When you pull a chair, you do work. You read, play, fly kite, wear clothes, etc. All these are work. But when you push an almara, it is not moved. No work is done. Almara is a heavy object, and you alone, if you are pushing, it is not moving. Then there is no work done. The object should move, then only we can say work is done. In science, or in science, we can say when work is done means we apply some force and it should move through a distance. Then only we can say work is done. Thus, work is said to be done when force is applied on an object and it moves. Simply applying force is not a work. It should move. That object should move. Then only we can say work is done. So, work is done, said to be done when force is applied on an object and when it moves. Force is applied on an object and it moves. Then only we can say work is done. Here you can see the image of a boy pushing a chair. A man on a chair. A man is on a chair and a boy pushing it is moving. Then work is done. Football. Someone is kicking the football. Ball is moving, so work is done. Farmer plough in the field. Yeah. Using bullocks, isn't it? It's moving, right? So the work is done by the farmer. Then energy. Energy is the ability to do work. So to do work we need some energy. We get energy from the food we eat, isn't it? If we have more energy, then we can do more work. So energy is the capacity or the ability to do work. If you don't have energy, you won't be able to do the work, isn't it? So energy is the ability to do work. Energy, it is nothing but ability to do the work. To do work we need energy. Only a body which has energy in it can produce a force to carry out work. So if we have energy in our body, then we can do the work. Energy is not produced. It just changes from one form to another form. Energy we can't make it actually. Actually it is transforming, or we can convert from one form to another. Example, coal contains chemical energy stored in it. Coal, C-O-A-L, coal. It's a natural resource. coal that we get from mining deep inside the earth. We are getting this coal, gas, petroleum and all. That is coal. So it contains some chemical energy in it. It contains chemical energy, so that we will change when we burn it. When we burn it, we get heat and light energy. We use coal to produce electricity also. So when we burn it, it will produce heat, as well as we use coal to generate electricity, so light. So coal, which has chemical energy in it, we are converting it into heat and light energy. So that's why we said energy is not produced. We are converting, or we are changing it from one form to another. The heat is then converted to electrical energy and so on. Thus the energy just changes in its forms. Energy we can change from one form to another form. When we eat the food, we get energy. It is called biochemical energy. Okay. Then we do some work. That is called muscular energy. We use muscular force there. So biochemical energy is changing to muscular energy, or we can say mechanical energy. Machines, simple machines works on mechanical force, we said. So to do some work with machine, there also we are applying some force. Rolling a chapati, we are applying force there, isn't it? So the food we eat, because of that we got some energy. That energy is converting into mechanical energy. Okay. When we are running, we are doing some work there. So because we eat food, we have energy. So that energy stored in us, or biochemical energy, is changing to mechanical energy, we say. Now heat energy. Sun is the main source of heat, because sun gives us heat as well as light. This energy is also produced when fuels like wood, coal, etc. are burned. When we burn the wood, when we burn the coal, heat is produced, isn't it? So sun is the main source of heat. We get heat from the sun. At the same time, when we burn coal, when we burn wood, what happens? When we burn something, heat is produced. That is heat energy, we say. Burning something produce heat energy, and sun is the main source of heat. Main source of heat is sun. Then comes light energy. Sun is also the main source of light energy also. Fuel is also produced, on burning produce light energy. Example, coal. When we burn it, heat energy. Then it will convert to electrical energy, means light energy, isn't it? Yes, so light energy. There also sun is the main source, and many fuels when we burn, it produce light energy also. Then comes sound energy. What is sound energy? From the sound we get that, isn't it? TV, radio, speakers, sound, they produce sound. So that energy, that waves, it travels in air and it reaches our ear. So sound energy. TV, radio, speakers, music systems are sources of sound energy. All the electrical appliances in our home, we can hear the sound of the TV. When we watch it, we can see as well as we can hear. Radio, music system. So these all produce sound energy, we say. Then electrical energy. What about electrical energy? All the electrical appliances, electrical energy, light, then TV, microwave, washing machine, they produce sound as well as they run on electricity, isn't it? This energy is used to run appliances like TV, microwave, washing machine, etc. To run TV, to run mixie, grinder, washing machine, we need electricity, we need current, we need power. So electrical energy is working there. These are different types of energy. So energy is the ability to do work, or the capacity to do work is called energy. If we have energy, then we can do the work. Do the work means if you push an almara, it is not moving, then no work is done. If you apply force and moving something, it should move. If you are trying to move some object, it should move through a distance. Then only we can say work is done. For that we need energy. Energy is the ability to do work. There are different types of energy. Heat energy. When we burn something like wood, coal, heat is produced. Or sun is the main source of heat. Then light energy. Sun is the source of light also. Sun gives us heat and light, isn't it? Then coal. When we burn it, heat energy will come out. It produces heat energy, and that energy we use it for generating electricity. That's why it is called that coal produce light energy. Burning fuels produce light energy. Then comes sound energy. TV, then music system, radio, we get sound. So sound energy. The electrical energy, this TV, washing machine, mixie, grinder, all works on electricity. So the electrical energy is using, isn't it? So these are the different types of energy. So we learned about energy, different types of energy, isn't it? So many other types of energy are there. There are many other types of energy like chemical energy, kinetic energy, potential energy, light energy, mechanical energy, solar energy, etc. So solar energy means energy from the sun, we say. Solar, from sun. Solar energy is nothing but energy that we get from the sun. Energy from sun. Solar energy is energy that we get from the sun. Okay. Moving air. Moving air is called wind. So we get wind from the moving air is called wind. And wind energy we use to generate electricity, to rotate the windmills, and windmills in turns rotate the turbine and it generates electricity, we say. So wind energy we use to generate electricity. Then a moving object possesses kinetic energy, we say. Kinetic energy. Kinetic energy means a moving object. If anything is moving, then it has kinetic energy. A moving car, aircraft, whatever it is, whatever moving, that moving body possesses which energy? Kinetic energy. Okay. Then energy produced by a body due to its position is known as potential energy. Potential energy means energy of a body due to its position. Position means a body is the something we kept on it. We are keeping on a table. Book on a table. Book is there because of potential energy. Or glass on a table. You are sitting on a chair. You are sitting there. That position. It is potential energy, we say. The combination of potential and kinetic energy, it is nothing but mechanical energy. Combination of both potential and kinetic energy is mechanical energy. Fan, ceiling fan, we say. Fan is there in that position because of potential energy. When it moves, it's moving, right? So kinetic energy. So both energies are working there. Potential as well as kinetic. So because of both this energy, the fan is moving. Fan is moving due to mechanical energy, we say. So combination of potential and kinetic energy brings mechanical energy there, which makes the fan to move. Fan is there on that position because of potential energy. When it starts moving, it gets kinetic energy, and because of both these energies, mechanical energy will take place there to make the fan move. Simple machine, I told you, simple machine works on mechanical energy, isn't it? So mechanical energy makes the fan to move, but mechanical energy is a combination of potential and kinetic energy. Then burning fuels generate heat energy or light energy, that we know, that is used in vehicles. Petrol we use in vehicles, isn't it? Then only vehicles move. Then to cook food, coal also we used to cook food. Here you can see moving wind. The image is a windmill. We use this to generate electricity. You can see aircraft flying. It is moving. So it possesses which energy? Kinetic energy. Ceiling fan is moving. It has both potential and kinetic energy combines to form mechanical energy. Makes the fan to move. Cooking food by burning wood. Burning wood is a fuel, we say, isn't it? So burning fuels produce heat energy. Okay. Yes. Do you know a 100-watt bulb consumes only 1 unit of energy to give light up to 10 hours? If you have a bulb at your house, isn't it? A 100-watt bulb, how much of energy it is consumed, it is taking for it to work for 10 hours. 1 unit of energy it is taking to work or to give light for 10 hours. Try to find out how much energy is consumed in your house every month. Take help from the monthly electricity bill. If you see, you can see the amount of consumption of energy by the electrical appliances in your house, how much they use, that you can see in the electricity bill.